We see a pair of bare feet walking through a blinding snowstorm. The person walking is Prophet Loon, a blonde woman with her face hidden by shadows. Dressed in a dark cloak over a white dress and hands bound in heavy chains, she walks bravely toward the execution grounds to face her death. 3 of her followers in white cloaks fall to their knees in the cold snow, crying and reaching out to her in desperation. Loon stops and tells them that, just as the old scriptures say, when the shepherd is struck, the sheep will scatter. She warns them that they will all eventually abandon her. A young disciple, destined to become the future pope, clutches his chest. He vows that even if everyone else leaves her side, he never will. Loon calmly replies to his promise with a warning. Before the rooster crows in the morning, he will deny knowing her 3 times. The execution begins, and Prophet Loon is brutally stabbed multiple times with heavy spears. She dies tied to a large wooden cross in the snow, her body pierced by weapons. Armored guards watch over the scene while the young disciple looks on helplessly. He stares up at her lifeless body, frozen in shock and horror. Suddenly, 2 large armored executioners turn toward him. Crossing their spears, they demand to know if he knows the crucified sinner. Terrified by the blades near his face, the boy sweats and quickly denies knowing her. He turns his back, hugging himself and shrinking away in fear. But his lie is interrupted when a servant girl points at him. She tells the guards she remembers him always begging the sinner for lessons and running her errands. The young disciple strongly denies it again, swearing he has no idea who the woman is. Soon, more armed guards surround him. They intimidate the hooded boy, claiming his accent proves he is one of her followers. Overwhelmed by fear, the disciple collapses to his knees in the cold snow. Tears stream down his face as he frantically curses and swears at the guards. He screams his 3rd denial, insisting he doesn't know her. As he shouts beneath the prophet's bloody body, a rooster crows, fulfilling her prophecy. Back in the present, inside the ruined stadium, Dolores and Vikir, disguised as the Night Hound, stand before a massive, terrifying demon. This monster is the same demon that destroyed the Academy and caused the Colosseo tragedy in the original timeline. Its name is Amdusias, the 5th demon king of the 10 elite corpses. Known as an immortal disaster and the natural enemy of humanity, its name means worthless. Amdusias turns its glowing red eye toward Vikir, smelling the thick scent of demon blood on him. The beast points a clawed finger at Vikir. It asks if he is the Night Hound who killed its comrades, acting surprised to find him here. Glaring from behind his mask, Vikir realizes the sickening smell coming from Headmaster Winston was actually the scent of this demon. He remembers his past life and realizes that Amdusias was supposed to arrive 6 months later than this. However, Vikir knows he cannot waste time questioning the changes in the timeline now. His sword surges with red energy as he steps in front of Dolores to protect her. He prepares to attack, determined to stop the demon before it can use its full power. Focusing his glowing red eye, Vikir observes his enemy closely. He can clearly see the connection point between Headmaster Winston and Amdusias's souls, similar to what he saw with Camus and Serre before. Vikir charges forward, his sword glowing red as he unleashes the Baskerville family's 7th technique. As he rushes in, the demon thinks that its weaker, past self would have been easily killed by this attack, but the massive Amdusias pulls back its fist, its arm surging with blue energy. The fast counterattack takes Vikir completely by surprise. The demon punches, unleashing a thick beam of blue energy that blasts Vikir backward. Taking a heavy hit, Vikir coughs up blood, shocked by the force of the monster's strike. He crashes into a stone wall and slumps into the rubble. The demon approaches, stating that Vikir's strength is no longer enough. Grinning with sharp teeth, Amdusias taunts him, saying his power won't work against it now. Wanting to finish it, the demon leaps high into the air and brings its fist down for a crushing punch. Despite the danger, Vikir's expression remains calm behind his mask as he readies his weapon. Just before the blow lands, a red magical barrier with glowing runes appears in front of him, and a strange voice calls out. The barrier is Decravia. The living pendant asks if it is too late, and Vikir calmly replies that it arrived just in time. Amdusias recognizes the shield as Decravia, the 7th corpse. He mocks it, asking where its powers went and why it is acting like an obedient dog for humans. Staring back with its single eye, Decravia notes that Amdusias is just as sarcastic as always. However, Decravia seems nervous and asks why Amdusias feels different. As blue energy swirls around the beast, Decravia asks if he is sensing the power of the Marquis of Disharmony coming from it. Nearby, Dolores stands in the rubble, shocked by the chaos. She quietly calls out to Vikir by his alias, Sir Van. Realizing she has been separated from him, her expression shifts from fear to determination. She decides she cannot just stand by and must do whatever she can to help. Dolores turns to Headmaster Winston, staring at the glowing purple demon heart embedded in his chest. She steps toward him, saying he is no longer the professor she knew. She asks what lies the demon used to manipulate him. Clenching her fist, she firmly states that demons are pure evil and the opposite of justice. As she approaches, she pleads with him, explaining that demons only want to destroy humanity. She begs him to break the contract before the world is ruined, hoping he still has some humanity left. Winston looks over his shoulder, revealing one glowing red eye and one human eye. He responds coldly, saying his world became a wasteland long before he met the monster. As Amdusius looms behind him, Winston explains that the demon was the only one who understood his pain and guided him. Looking at her with mismatched eyes, Winston declares that the ideas of evil demons and good humans are meaningless to him. Gripping his chest in anger, he argues that the opposite of justice is not evil, but simply a different kind of justice. Staring with his glowing red eye, he declares that the justice he desires is the downfall of humanity. Addressing her as Dolores Lunquo Vadis, he reminds her of her dark family history. He says she is the descendant of the disciple who survived by denying God 3 times. Dolores stays silent as Winston asks why someone from her bloodline would protect humans, knowing how low they can sink. Despite his words, Dolores shouts back. She states that even in despair, humans have the power to believe they can choose the best path forward. Winston dismisses her, questioning the point of such blind faith. He points to the unconscious Professor Sadie. He asks if Dolores believes that the woman who ruined the academy and attacked him also chose the best path. Dolores falls silent, turning around as Winston continues his cruel test. Using dark magic, Winston lifts a battered man high into the air. The man is mutated, with blue crystals piercing his body. Winston asks her what she thinks of this criminal. Winston slams the man down into the stone floor, shattering the ground. Horrified, Dolores covers her mouth as Winston asks if she still believes this criminal can walk the right path. As the dust settles, the injured man struggles to his knees. He has brown hair, a goatee, and crystals covering his body. Looking at his face, Dolores stammers in disbelief, recognizing the monster as her own father. This is the end of the video. If you guys want to see the next part, then don't forget to subscribe and like the video.